Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jared Parker. I'm 26 years old, and I graduated with highest honors in MDC North Campus in the spring of 2020 with my AA degree in mechanical engineering. I was born and raised here in Hialeah, Florida, as the youngest of 5 siblings. My mom, I am proud to say, homeschooled my 4 siblings and me from kindergarten to 12th grade. But before I begin, I would like to share my homeschooling experience since many people have no idea what homeschooling entails. Some people have false perceptions that homeschooling means waking up whenever you want and watching TV all day. That is far from the truth from the way it was done at home. As stated before, I am the youngest of 5 children, 3 older brothers and 1 sister. My mother began teaching my oldest brother in 1991, at a time when keeping children at home was a novelty and often frowned upon. My mom's friends and family criticized her efforts, declaring we would never learn anything academically, let alone be socially backwards. But our day started at 7 a.m. with morning chores, from making our beds to doing laundry to cleaning the bathroom. At 8 a.m. after breakfast, we began our schooling at the dining room table. All 5 children gathered around at the same time by the time I came into the picture. Depending on our grade level, some might do a couple hours of work, while the older siblings studied for 4 or 5 hours. After lunch, we would gather in the living room and my mom would read to us while we put Legos together or colored. The afternoon hours we spent finishing assignments and then free time. All assignments were turned into Mom for grading as soon as they were completed. Any errors had to be corrected before the day's end. Before my dad came home from work, we would do our afternoon chores. Then it would be time to make dinner and then clean up the kitchen. However, schoolwork and chores were not the only things that we did. If we needed a break, we would take one, maybe a day or maybe a week. We had goals, but we were not slaves to those goals. But we did finish our assignments, even if it took us longer than intended. But my mom did not know how to teach a child with autism. She did not know I was on the spectrum until I was diagnosed at the age of 17, with Asperger's to be specific. My family knew to some degree that I was different. I would do unusual things that no one in my family would ever think of doing. Yet, there were other challenges when it came to areas like communication and school. For example, regarding communication, I struggled to make and keep eye contact with people when speaking with them. In fact, I often would dominate entire conversations without letting the other person speak. Homeschooling was an uphill battle for me. What might take my siblings an hour to complete would take me upwards of 2 to 3 hours to finish. Thinking on my feet has always been a huge trial for me, especially through middle to high school. These obstacles I had to overcome with patience and hard work. I even continue to work on them to this day. With the help of my mom, my friends, my church, and my peers from college, I have made great strides in becoming a better individual. Even though I'm on the spectrum, it has always been my belief to treat others with respect, love, and kindness, whether at home, school, work, or wherever. Meeting and greeting new and old people with a smile on my face makes me happy and satisfied, because seeing them smile back makes me feel recognized as a person. I cannot recall how many times this positive attitude has encouraged others and me. I remember the time before my first class at MDC, my mom spoke these wise words to me. Get to know your professors. Go to their offices. I promise you, most of them don't have students banging their doors down. Get to know your fellow classmates, especially for study purposes and projects. It will make your college years so much more productive and beneficial. These words resonate within me to this day, and they have never failed me. In fact, because of that wisdom, I have made numerous friends, from classmates to professors, from tutors to advisors, and now to students and parents from my workplace. As I previously stated, I am the youngest of 5 siblings, yet I have achieved numerous goals that I would never have thought possible. I was homeschooled all my life by my mom. I graduated from high school from an intense homeschool program called Classical Conversations, which I attended for 4 years. I then went to MDC North Campus almost 8 years ago in the fall of 2015. At the same time, I went to Miami Lakes Educational Center for 2 years and received certification in 3D printing in 2018. Today, I'm a self-employed math and logic tutor at a homeschool co-op called Broward Cooperative Educational Program. I have had the opportunity of helping numerous students succeed in the math curriculum, as well as earning the trust and support from my students, the parents, and my directors. And finally, I want to give my sincere thanks to Mrs. Yuri Lee and Mrs. Rita Hernandez in giving me this wonderful opportunity and to once again share my experience with you all. But before I go, allow me to share something with you that I hope will be encouraging and inspirational. Everyone has some sort of issue, challenge, or disability in their lives, whether it is physical, mental, or something else. Never let it hinder you from what you want to do in your life. There will be times where you will have a setback due to whatever condition you might have or are going through, but that does not mean that you quit. Life may be tough and unforgiving, but keep working harder and persevere through trial and error. For I promise you, if I can do it with all the things I have shared with you, being on the autistic spectrum, so can you all. Thank you.